A child's first birthday. A time for a family to gather in celebration of one of its new members. As she takes her place within her family's portrait, she creates a new link in their chain of generations and symbolizes the cycle of life. A child is, at the very same instant, a family's past and its future. She's a continuation of each of their lives and holds the seeds for the family's coming generation. A child is a miracle of life, a snapshot in time, part of the continuing story of human reproduction. A new life. It began in the fusion of two tiny reproductive cells, the father's sperm and the mother's ovum or egg cell. The mother's round egg cell is by far the largest cell found within her body. Yet it would take 200 egg cells, placed side by side, to cover just 1 inch. The father's sperm cell is tiny in comparison, with its long, thin tail and pointed, oval-shaped head. A sperm is only about 1/500th of an inch long. It's so small that a thimble could hold as many sperm as there are people on Earth today. Yet, as minute as these reproductive cells are, their potential is enormous. It's at the very instant of conception, when sperm and egg unite, that an individual's genetic inheritance is sealed forever. It's the inheritance of inborn characteristics that makes one person different from another. These traits are what shape a person's uniqueness. Every detail within the human outline, from the thickness of the eyelashes, to the curve of the toes, to whether this child will cross his arms left over right or right over left as he grows older, is unchangeably drawn and defined at conception. Preserving and transmitting this inheritance is the task of the nucleus in each egg and each sperm cell. Each nucleus contains 23 chromosomes, half the usual number of 46 found in every other body cell. Neatly lined up within the chromosome's framework are thousands of bits of matter known as genes. Each gene carries the blueprint for one inherited trait. At conception, the nucleus of the sperm fuses with the nucleus of the egg. The genetic material is set free and combined within a new cell. This new cell has a complete set of 46 chromosomes, 23 from each parent. It is from this cell that a new life will grow. One set of chromosomes in the new cell determines the baby's gender. The mother's egg always carries one X chromosome. The father's sperm carries either an X or a Y chromosome. If an X sperm fertilizes the egg, the new cell has two X chromosomes and becomes a female. If it's a Y sperm that fertilizes the egg, the new cell has one X and one Y chromosome and is a male.
The story of human reproduction begins in the female Several years before sexual maturity, the hypothalamus secretes substances called releasing factors. These travel to the pituitary gland, a small pea-shaped organ suspended at the base of the brain, and order it to produce follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH. The follicle-stimulating hormone awakens cells within the girl's ovaries, stimulating them to release the hormone estrogen. Estrogen gradually sculpts the young girl's body into the characteristic female form. At first, a girl may see a budding of her breasts, followed by the start of her growth spurt in height. Soon, her breasts will develop even more, and pubic and underarm hair will appear. But it's a girl's first menstruation that shows she's arrived at puberty. And while her early cycles may or may not produce ova, she will soon be capable of reproducing life. The gears have started to turn. The potential for new life begins in the two almond-shaped ovaries which lie inside the lower abdomen, one on each side. Each ovary houses groups of cells called follicles, which cloak the immature ova, or eggs. This newborn baby girl's ovaries actually contain all the eggs her body will ever produce, somewhere between 300,000 to 400,000 immature egg cells. But during her reproductive life, only about 400 or 500 will mature. Follicle-stimulating hormone from the pituitary gland sets the ovarian cycle in motion. It stimulates several follicles in one ovary to grow. The two ovaries alternate, one maturing an egg 1 month, the other the next month. Gradually, one of these stimulated follicles reaches the ovary's surface. This maturing follicle now sends out estrogen. The hypothalamus responds to the surge of estrogen and orders the pituitary to stop releasing follicle-stimulating hormone and begin releasing another hormone called luteinizing hormone, or LH. This luteinizing hormone triggers the mature, fully ripened egg to burst through its follicular cloak in a process called ovulation. In general, this happens around day 14 of the ovarian cycle, but it can happen at any time during the cycle, including during menstruation. These are the fertile days when a woman can become pregnant. The egg is cast out into the abdominal cavity. The waving motion of finger-like threads called fimbria around the edge of the fallopian tube sweep the egg into the tube. The folded surfaces of the tube are lined with hair-like cilia. The egg will be propelled through this tube partly by the sweeping motion of the cilia and partly by contractions of the tubal wall. The trip to the uterus is about 4 inches and can take several days. As the ovum is moved through the tube, the follicle left behind collapses and is transformed into a gland known as the corpus luteum, or yellow body. The corpus luteum manufactures estrogen and another potent hormone, progesterone. The fate of the corpus luteum now depends on whether or not the egg is fertilized. If pregnancy occurs, the life of the corpus luteum is extended. It will continue to grow and enlarge, actively producing hormones needed to sustain a growing embryo in the early months. However, if the egg is not fertilized, the corpus luteum degenerates rapidly and hormone production abruptly falls. The ovarian cycle is complete. The endometrial cycle runs simultaneously with the ovarian cycle. Its function is to prepare the uterine lining, the endometrium, to receive and nurture a fertilized egg. The uterine lining begins to build as the ovarian follicles start to mature. The rising estrogen levels encourage the thin lining to gradually thicken into a rich, velvety cushion of new blood vessels and tissues. After ovulation, the endometrium continues to thicken as it responds to the flow of progesterone secreted by the corpus luteum. Thousands of microscopic blood vessels are now surrounded by soft, spongy tissue. Stored nutrients wait to nourish a fertilized egg. If a fertilized egg does not implant in the womb, further tissue buildup is unnecessary, and menstruation will soon follow. Over the next 7 days, the endometrial lining reacts to the sharp drop in hormones as the corpus luteum degenerates. Soon the lining breaks apart, and the blood and cast-off cells are shed. This is menstruation, which lasts about 5 days. The menstrual flow passes through the lower end of the uterus, the cervix, and out of the body through the vagina. The first day of menstruation is the beginning of the menstrual cycle. Now, new follicles will start to mature as the ovarian cycle begins again.
But as we said, a new life is conceived when the mother's egg and the father's sperm fuse together. When is a male ready to manufacture sperm? Unlike the female's body, the male's is not under the sway of cycles. His hormones flow in a smooth, steady stream, not in the ebb and flow pattern characterizing hers. So, while a female usually produces only 1 ovum a month, a male produces sperm continuously once he's reached puberty. His reproductive system, the penis, epididymis, seminal vesicles, vas deferens, prostate, testicles, and urethra, will mature according to the timetable set and controlled by his hypothalamus and pituitary. Somewhere between age 10 and 15, the hypothalamus orders the pituitary to send hormones to the 2 testicles. Prodded by these hormones, the testicles begin releasing the hormone testosterone and sometime later begin producing sperm. Testosterone is the force which molds the boy's body into a man's. His bones lengthen, body and pubic hair appear, the voice deepens, and the testicles and penis increase in size. The 2 testicles are oval-shaped and about 1 to 2 inches long. They are held in the scrotum, a pouch-like sac of crinkly skin. The penis, composed mostly of spongy, erectile tissue, delivers sperm during sexual intercourse. At birth, the head or glans of the child's penis is covered by a loose sheath of skin, the foreskin. This is sometimes removed a few days after birth in a procedure known as circumcision. The male's internal reproductive system is a maze-like network of interconnecting tubes which continuously works to manufacture mature sperm cells. Once sperm production begins, a boy has reached puberty. The 2 testicles are the sperm makers. Each contains hundreds of yards of thread-like tubes. Cells tucked within these tubes churn out the immature sperm at the rate of some 200 million a day. The sperm cells take about 60 days to develop within these snug coils. As the nucleus shrinks, becoming the sperm's head, and the whip-like tail forms behind it, the sperm take on their characteristic tadpole shape. At the back of each testicle, the tubules unite into a single coiled tube, the epididymis. Here, the millions of sperm mature for another 2 weeks. The mature sperm continue their journey along an extension of the epididymis, the vas deferens. Now they are gathered and stored until ejaculation. At the moment of ejaculation, semen forms. Sticky fluids from the seminal vesicles and prostate gland mix with the waiting sperm in the vas deferens. Then, powerful muscle contractions propel the semen out of the body through the urethra. These contractions are known as orgasm. For new life to begin, the male's sperm must meet and fertilize the female's egg. So, it's during sexual intercourse, when the penis enters the vagina and ejaculates sperm near the cervix, that the potential for new life is created. Immediately, the millions of microscopic sperm start moving toward their goal, the mature ovum. If intercourse takes place while the egg cell is making its way through the fallopian tube, conception is possible. Some 400 million sperm begin the journey, but most never complete it. Half die in the vagina, and many turn into the wrong fallopian tube. Sperm can live as long as 5 days within the female's body, but only a few hundred survive the journey and eventually reach the egg. Of those that reach the egg, only one will fertilize it. Instantly, the ovum's outer membrane hardens, locking out the other sperm trying to gain entrance. Inside, the genes of the new mother and father come together for the first time. Their child's genetic inheritance is sealed forever. After conception, the fertilized egg continues toward its future home, the uterus. Traveling through the fallopian tube, it divides again and again. Occasionally, a fertilized egg will divide completely into 2 separate clusters of cells. These will grow into identical twins, each carrying exactly the same genetic material. Sometimes a woman matures 2 egg cells at one time. If they are both fertilized, they will become fraternal twins. Since each carries a different combination of genetic material, they will be no more alike than any other siblings. The tiny group of cells finally arrives in the uterus. It sends root-like projections into the soft uterine cushion and attaches itself to the lining. Absorbing food from its mother's bloodstream, it continues to grow and develop. Over the coming 9 months, the mother's womb will be the home for the growing child, providing it with food, warmth, shelter, and comfort. And some 266 days after its conception, the child will be born, a unique combination of its mother and father, a child unlike any other, a new part of the continuing pattern and cycle of life.